Now that you began the process of renting your car and you're picking out the car of your choice so that you can have the most luxurious vacation possible, and make sure that you don't turn up that AC too high or else you're going to be very cold. So here you go to learn some more about renting a car.
It gives us a description about the car. From Easy Rent, that's the company. The company's name is Easy Rent. It's a minivan. That's what they call these types of cars, minivans. And the company is Dodge, which is an American car company. Grand Caravan is the type of vehicle. So it's a Dodge Van Caravan or something similar. So they don't guarantee you get this exact car, but you will get something similar. So if this car fits 7 people and they don't have exactly that same one, they will still give you a car that fits 7 people, but they don't guarantee it will be this exact car. It is an automatic car. It is not manual. It means the gears on it and how you drive is automatic. It has air conditioning. Anytime you see AC, it means air conditioning. We can see that it fits 7 people. 3 bags it will fit in the back. And it has 4 doors on it. Then we can choose if we want to get our rental car protector, which is insurance. We talked about this before when we were booking the flight. We could get flight protection. So if there was a cancellation or a delay, something happened that prevented us from getting on that flight, we would not lose our money because we had insurance. We'd get our money back. Well, we use insurance for many, many things in America to protect our money. So if we are paying for renting this car, they highly recommend. Remember, we talked about recommending. If a reviewer recommends a hotel room, then they say, yes, this is good. Well, if here they are highly recommending getting this car protector, they're saying, we really think you should do this. This is a very good idea. We recommend it. So this car insurance means that if anything happens to you when you're driving, accidents happen. If you get in a car accident, means it could be just by yourself, you accidentally drive the car into a pole. It gets a scratch on the car. That is a car accident. An accident is something that happens that you didn't mean to do, but it happened. It's an accident. So accidents, well, they happen. You don't mean for them to happen, but they do. So don't get caught without collision damage coverage. Collision is when 2 things come together and they hit each other. They collide. It is a collision. So if you have the car and the pole, they collide with each other. Or you can have 2 cars. You accidentally have a collision. 1 car and 2 cars hit each other. They are in a collision. So the damage, what is ruined from that collision after hitting each other, maybe the front of the car is hit in. Maybe the car doesn't even work anymore. Whatever damage happens because of the collision, you have coverage, protection when you buy this insurance. Pretty much always you need to do this. It's not really an option to not do it, because if you do not have insurance and you get in a car accident, you will pay so much money that probably you don't even have, but you will need to pay so much money to fix the other person's car and to fix the car that you were renting. So you should never drive a rental car without paying for added protection, paying for the insurance. As you can see, the added protection really doesn't cost that much. It's only $9 a day more. So it is very wise to get the insurance. So we choose yes, we want to insure the car. And we go ahead and fill in our who's traveling. Please be aware that car rental companies require the driver to supply a credit card in his or her name in order to pick up the car. So you cannot rent a car without having a credit card. I've tried this before and it's impossible. If you don't have a credit card, sorry, you're not going to be able to rent a car. Read age restrictions if the driver is under 25 or over 65. Rental may be refused based on the driver's age. Okay, so we would need to click here to read this car rental age restriction information if you are under 25 years old or older than 65. What that means is anybody who is under 25 or older than 65 is a high-risk driver. Usually people who are young do not drive as safely as people who are 30 or 40 years old. The same way as you get older, your driving becomes more unsafe. So there are more accidents for people over 65, more accidents for people under 25. So usually the price would be higher, or there is different rules that you have. So you need to read this information. So again, you just need to fill in the driver's name, the person who will be driving the car, and your personal information, your email address for getting your confirmation email. And then they want you to give your flight arrival information so that they know when your flight arrives. And they would also know by giving them your information, saying you are on Delta Airlines. There's lots of airlines here. Delta Airlines, you were on flight number 2149, say. You would write that in there, and then that day they would look at the flights and say, oh, flight 2149 today is going to be 2 hours late. So if you don't show up at 4:30 to get your car, they're not going to think, where is Melissa? She's not here. We're going to give her car to somebody else, but they'll see her flight's late. So we'll keep holding it for her because we know she will come 2 hours later. Car special requests. If you need to request special equipment, you would let them know here. Remember that these are only requests. You're just asking, and it's not guaranteed that you'll get it. Contact your rental company directly to confirm availability. So you need to call the number for this rental company at, what is it called? Easy Rent-A-Car. You will need to call the company if you are making one of these requests and you want to make sure, confirm that it is available. So say I need a child seat for a child this many months old. We have a child traveling with us. They are 1 to 3 years old. We're going to need a child seat. So I'm going to make a request. Any child in America traveling in a car other than a taxi needs to be seated in the back seat if they're, I think it's 7 years old and younger. In different states, it's a little different. Some might go up to 8 or 9 years old that they have to be in the back seat. And until they're 8 years old, they need to sit in a child seat. So these older ages, it's just a little booster seat, it's called, and it just sits them up a little higher so that when the seat belt is put around them, the seat belt sits nicely around their chest and not up around their neck. And so they're safe in the car. This is all for child safety. Well, for little children, they have special seats that have their own seat belts that strap the child in so the child cannot get out and they stay in that seat. These special child seats are required by law for all children to sit in, again, unless you're on public transportation, like in a taxi or on a bus, then you wouldn't need them. But if you're renting a car, you do need to have a child seat for children. You can request some of these other things like a bicycle rack. You're bringing a bicycle with you and you need a rack on the back of the car to set your bicycle on. A luggage rack, you can have a luggage rack up on top of the car that you can strap your luggage to because it won't all fit in the car. Say you can request that. So we can see that our final cost here, after our base rate, which is our daily rate, what they said it was going to be $39 per day, comes to $74 plus your taxes. Remember, everything in America has taxes and fees added into the price. So your total car rental estimate will be $115 plus you'll get also charged the $27 for your protection, your insurance. So you have one bill at $27 and another bill at $115.61. And this is your total price for renting a car.
You checked out, you picked what car you were interested in or wanted. Maybe you chose the luxury one, maybe a mid-size one, or maybe you chose that nice family minivan. Whatever you chose, hey, it's the car you're renting on your trip. So you went to checkout and... Oh, sorry, I was checking out something over there. You can use the word checkout in various ways, but again, for our purposes, we're checking out of a website. Now, you can also use it in checking a website, but for us, you're checking out, meaning you're paying for it. So in this last section, you learned how to book a flight, you learned to reserve a room, and to rent a car. And all these things are preparing you for your adventure. So just a little application for you. Maybe you can have a discussion with someone about what kind of car you would like to have on a trip. So pick it. You can talk about colors. You can talk, will it be automatic or will it be manual? And just use this to reinforce what you've already been learning and get yourself ready for that quiz, which will be coming up.